I joined the organization in 2015, and that point of time, the company was thereabouts about 400 crores. And last financial year, we've closed at about close to 2,000 crores. So we've had a 5x growth journey, which is a mix of several things that we've seen on the way, which is reviving growths organically on the business around our key brands that we had at that point of time, which were market leaders, sugar-free, Everyuth, Nutralite. And we've also had, the Kraft Heinz acquisition, which came our way, and we've been able to integrate and build it forward. There were two things which are very similar to what Zydus Wellness stood for. Both came from original innovations by a pharma company into consumer space. So they were scientific, they were do good for the consumers, and they were category builders. We found synergy both at the front end as well as the organizationally, and in terms of where these brands could take us. We invested on people capability and capacity, which was not just for where we were, but where we wanted to be. And that came in handy because when we were together, the teams, we could actually, bring value to the business. We focused on the fact that, people are the critical resource of any organization. So in the integration journey, we first focused on ensuring that we took care of people and assured them that this business was not about one versus the other, but about building the brands and the businesses together. Some of our processes, which needed a more detailed work, which is where we had Nycil's team come back and really look at some of our supply chain processes, both in terms of demand management, replenishment, pull-based system.
Identifying strong brands which have a very loyal consumer base, have a strong pull in the category, really becomes the first consideration for any kind of an acquisition. The kind of synergies that you can get, be it across the entire value chain, right from sourcing to manufacturing and distribution, is just, to my mind, the icing on the cake. We largely focused on direct material, raw materials, and packaging material. We did a market price discovery. We understood what are the kind of prices in the market, which now with this larger scale, the organization could try and target the right profile of suppliers that we could reach out to. And even with these new suppliers, we actually helped create the right cost sheet models, which could clearly call out what were the kind of underlying commodity prices that were linked to each of these packaging materials that Zydus Wellness was buying.
If we are going to invest behind the brands, if we have to innovate, we have to do these things, we needed a backend which is going to enable that. And therefore, backend was not just about cost cutting. Of course, there were costs to be taken out, but our processes which were future ready, which were close to the customers. When we integrated the entire warehousing infrastructure, which made it simpler and at a much substantially lower cost. What it did was that I was able to hold less, I was able to reduce the inventory while being more available for the customer when he or she needed.
Tarun and the leadership team were very clear right from the start of the acquisition, in fact, just before that, of what were the key reasons why they were doing the acquisition, what is the kind of value that they were looking to unlock from it, the key initiatives that they wanted to drive. The second element was, the openness to ask for help and identifying point experts who've done these jobs multiple times before, to be able to bring them on board and ensure that they work jointly well with the team to drive it and get it right first time. Lastly, I think the entire people agenda, all people in the organization were very transparently brought on board to this entire set of objectives. Everyone was actually acutely aware of the need, the key outcomes that were expected, and therefore all through the entire journey, we were able to get the full support of the team, and that, to my mind, made all the difference.